Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. It's an honor and a privilege to be with you. Oh, here we go. It's an honor and a privilege to be with you today. You know, there's a lot of turmoil and a lot of activity going on in the United States right now at this time. This is June 1st. But what I want to talk to you about is patience, discipline, tenacity, that is to hold on and to be able to carry yourself in a certain way over a long period of time. And that long period of time for us just kind of came to an end today. Because we're right in the middle of something that's been going on for a long time, and nobody seems to have focused solutions. They don't seem to have a comprehensive approach to what's going on. Well, I think Masjid al-Islam might just have a comprehensive approach. And I'm going to start way back. I'm going to tell you, this is going to be back a while. This is a series of arrests. Each page, by the way, this is for my bail bonds in Oakland. Because in 1973, when I was fighting a case against the U.S. government, I wanted to have my arrest record. If I had my arrest record, it would show by its pattern, right? The behavior of the police to us. And the government refused to give it to me. I want you to understand about Oakland now. Oakland at that time was number 2 in the United States in surveillance and everything, after the FBI. If you remember when you was watching that movie Panther, and the FBI was hitting to the police, do this, do that, and they looked up and the FBI just came in to Oakland and took over their office and everything. That part is basically true. The intelligence network in Oakland was only, in those days, second to the FBI. At that time, I was very active there. There was 2 big active communities. One, the Black Panther community, and the other one was ours. Our organization, very active. Actually, most people thought it was more effective in the community. East Oakland Enterprises than the Panthers was, because definitely in Oakland we was more popular than the Black Panther Party. Not outside, the world knew about the party. The world didn't know about us. That's kind of what we got going on right now. Something been going on in Oakland and DC for a long time, and nobody knew anything about it, or they cut off the information, the flow of information outside, and so the police could do anything they wanted to us over a long period of time. And the first thing I think people will ask, how did you let this go on so long? Well, if you were to read revolutionary literature, you would read about encirclement and suppression. The enemy always tried to encircle the good guys, the people, the revolutionaries, encircle them, surround them, and suppress them. Y'all was just talking a few minutes ago about the helicopters moving and having a view down on the people, and the people are not trained. The people that are out here right now, June 1st, May 31st, May 30th, they're not trained demonstrators. The only ones trained out there are the police and the guys spray painting everything and getting around on them scooters and setting fire to different things. They're doing that on purpose. People have a right to demonstrate. The people have a right to show their disgust at what happened. In fact, you can't watch the video. I technically don't like to watch it myself because there's no reason for it. It's unreasonable. It's unfeeling, insanity. And a lot of people don't know there's two things that happen. One, the guy called out for his mother. You got to remember, if you've been around killing and everything, now in the old days, in riots and people getting close to death, black people would cuss you out, and white boys would call on their mama. Because their mind go just before death. It's just natural. They go back to where they was most comfortable, and that was in their mother's arms, whether it's conscious or unconscious. So a lot of times, you watch war films, a lot of people, they call on their mother. Just so that means he was close to death then. The other thing, his stomach was hurting. He kept saying, my stomach is hurting. That means he's getting ready to have his last bowel movement. You know, when you die, right there, this is what's happening. This is happening in front of everybody. They don't know what's going on. This is what's happening. So for me, I had some experience and I know what's going on. I don't want to see it. The man's knee, he's got his hands in his pocket. And he ain't thinking about nothing but not moving his neck, his foot off that brother's neck. So the people have a right to be upset. And it's not that we haven't been dealing with this for a while. I mean, 170-something years, so-called freedom, and they haven't solved the race problem yet. The police brutality, Ku Klux Klan type, that's who they are. A lot of Americans don't even believe that somebody would go to work hoping that something can happen where I can kill me, a black person. They don't believe that. You know what? They've never been arrested before. And since they haven't been under the influence of the police. Now, here's what I'm showing you. I don't even know how many arrests this is, but here's several pages of arrests. This is arrest and court dates. This is on the bail bond. Remember, the government won't give me this stuff. So I said, who else has all that information? My bail bond. He got a record of all that. First of all of these pages, I just tell you the truth, there's nobody been arrested that much in Oakland or here. Why? They wouldn't have the money to get out that much. See, I would go in and I was rich. I'd get arrested and I'd go right out. Arrested, go right out. In 1970, I was arrested on April Fool's Day, April 1st. I was arrested 3 times in one day. 3 times in one day. You got to be, nobody could do that because nobody would stay in that environment long enough to go through all of that. But I did. Nobody would put up with what I'm going to show you in a minute, right? Nobody would stay put to put up with all of that over a long period of years. This is happening over the years. So it's a reason for this waiting for a while. So Any one of you that gets to your legal team or whoever you're going to bring this to, you know, you'll have plenty to work with. All they have to do is type up my name and they'll see a lot of the stuff, my slave name, of course. But I want to show you a few things that'll get you warmed up a little bit. This is October 2015. Imam Musa assaulted in Oakland, California. That means I was assaulted in the Masjid, I was arrested, and in this case, this might have been just a case of where we're at the Masjid. Psychological guerrilla warfare. I tell them we're going to have a lot of fun next Juma. We're going to have Cracker Jacks, and cotton candy and all that. I'm just saying that. And then here they come. Mukhtar comes with a whole organization of people. And they want to, I think y'all saw some of it on the video, right? Where it's a group of people that I'm saying at the door, no, you can't come in, and they bum rush into my shit. Okay. They come in, and actually, technically, they push me to the side, basically. And Mukhtar is doing most of the talking. Most people wouldn't have took that. But you got to remember, the people that we were at that time, and we are definitely now, the last independent masjid, African-American masjid in the United States that is standing up for the rights of the people and standing up for ourselves. So remember the government's position. Agent provocateurs provoke you to move, provoke you to do something, right? Provoke you to react. That's where reactionary comes from. Instead of being focused and dynamic, you react to what they do to you. That's where shaping and hurting come from. It comes from people, especially the Muslims, they react to what the people do, the government. So the government do a little of this, they react. Government do a little of that, they react. That's what we call shaping and hurting. They're shaping their behavior. They do a little bit of this, they do a little bit of that. They're shaping their behavior, and then they're hurting them right down where they want to go. We call it shaping and hurting, right? When those helicopters fly around, they have a view down on top of you. If you have skill, if you have people around, you're all communicating on your walkie-talkies and all of that, you can handle yourself. But if you have a spontaneous demonstration where people are mobilized, now you have to remember, there's a difference between mobilization and organization. They're close, but they're different. The ability to mobilize people is to bring them together. But the ability to organize them is to give them focus and reason for being there, and direction and leadership and all of those things. Those are the most important things. Not mobilization, but organization. So, we've always stood for both things. Mobilization, bringing the people together, and organization. Having the people unifying their ideas, concepts, and having us move in a certain direction. So in this day, technically I'm assaulted at the Masjid in Oakland. That's exactly what happened. June 3rd. 2014. Imam Musa facing death threats, facing attacks and death threats. Now this is not no secret, it's in Press International. I asked Zafar, do people know what's going on? He said, these went viral. That's why, must have been why he stopped. Well, can you imagine if they know all of this is going on, why they would stop printing the stuff? Okay. In September 2014, I was arrested in the Masjid for trespassing. The only thing here, we have the deed, Masjid al-Islam, da-da-da-da-da-da, and then my slave name, Clarence Reeves. So I paid the taxes on it. So this is a deed to the property. They arrested me on the property 8 times that I have the deed to. They arrested me 8 times on the property that the dear brother has the deed to. Now, this is not a big secret. This is a secret here in America. But here's the Islamic invitation in Turkey. They know about it in Turkey. I was on radio programs in South Africa, Voice of the Cape and all of them. And everybody knew about it out there. Now, here's another one. Imam Abdul Ali Musa receives death threats. This is the time when, you know, the people who were causing the trouble, they could catch up with me anytime they want. If I went downtown to pay the taxes, they would follow me down there and pay them. I mean, and watch me pay them. One time they asked me, do you want us to pay the taxes? You want to pay them? I said, yeah, go ahead and pay them. I said, you pay them. Oh, we will next time. The Negroes is crazy. Nah. Armed intruders attacked Masjid al-Islam in Oakland. This is August 22nd. This was a very active day, too. When I have a lot of friends at this time. I have my son and a couple of his homeboys. They're there. I have Diamond Jim. He's standing right there. Now, his job, you just watch it. That's, you know, all you're doing is watching. So he's standing there on the side of the masjid. Okay, they come. I'm standing in the doorway. A military move. I'm standing in the doorway with the speaker. You know, those speakers we have, the portable speaker. And the Arab Taliban looking, not Taliban looking, what's the one?
ISIS.
Huh? ISIS looking. Big fluffy beard and all that. I said, yeah. The reason I was happy because I said that's the new look for the feds now, you know, for the police. You know, they Arabs. And they come, and first of all, the guy snatches the speaker. No, first he pulls the plug. You know, so I can speak, but I just in voice. Then he pulls back. Then another one come in, and then the one over here is active. One of my son's friends body slams one of them, and his gun fall out. Now remember, they all out there like this, and they're standing in a trained police position. This is a military move. Mukhtar has a thobe on with a pocket in the side, and the poor guy is trying to get to his gun. Mukhtar. And I'm walking up on him. And you know, like the thobe with a pocket in the side, but it's got a slit in it,
Yeah,
and you can stick your hand through the slit. He has his gun, of course, he's very well trained with pistols, but, because we sent him to Colorado 2 years in a row for gun handling and all that. So he's, you know, he can click the thing. That's what they train him to do. And then when he would mention the Muslims, he would forget, and he had the bad guys. That's what the white folks teaching him up there. He's using their language. But him and what's the name next to, that's no problem. So, no, now you gotta imagine now. Let's just go a little far ahead. All of this is going on at Jummah time in front of the Masjid. The police come and they block the street in a way that the guys causing the trouble can get away. They all run away. And the lady say, why, you know, right up on him, why they do that and let them, all them boys get away, you know? So, in other words, and then the policewoman come in the car. Look, nobody came up and asked about nothing. They snatched my phone, you know what I mean, and they was out to be destructive. Anyway, that was, I guess, on August 22nd. Yeah, August 22nd, 2014, at 1:15 p.m. All this was going on, and everybody knew it. Well, why ain't nobody said nothing to the police or anything about it? This one, sabotage, death threats against Imam Musa, and now grand larceny of Masjid al-Islam accounts. That means that the government let them have our accounts. You can't do that. But that's what they did. We ain't jumping up and down about it. Why are we not jumping up and down about it? Because now we filed some reports to keep, we have 4 or 5 reports. You initiated a complaint with the Oakland Police Department, and an investigation into your allegations has been completed. The allegations and investigative findings are as below. Performance of duty, care of property, complaint